Hi guys, welcome to Coding After 30. In this video, I want to talk about, is programming right for you? Can anybody learn programming? And the truth is, no, you can't. Because if you're not interested in the topic, if you have no desire to sit in front of the computer for a long time, dealing with problems and trying to figure them out, this career path will be very difficult. Because the truth is, the learning never stops. I finished work at 5 today, and then for 2 extra hours afterward, I spent time coding on my own. This is not something I'm getting paid for. It's just something that I have to do to continue to evolve as a programmer, to learn and grow. This is a difficult path. So if you're thinking that you want to learn to code because you want to make more money, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't have the desire to struggle through the problems, to struggle through studying, through figuring things out, this is going to be very difficult. I sometimes dream and code. It doesn't mean that I'm smart, by the way. I don't want to say that you have to be the smartest person to go into web development. You just have to be willing to do the work. Some people will argue with me, say that if you don't have the mind for it, if you're not able to think abstractly, this is not the right field for you. And it's true. Like I said before, I have friends who are in the music business. They have no desire of learning to code. I have friends who are English teachers. They love their job. I also have friends who have multiple degrees in mathematics and work with AI and graduate from MIT. And the type of jobs they have, by the way, is not the job that I'm looking for. I have no desire trying to solve the world-class problems. It's just not me. And I'm being honest with you because I want you to know that not everybody aspires to work on those type of problems. And the reason I say that is because it's really easy to get discouraged because people think that to be a programmer, you have to have some elite status. And the truth is, the field is so grand and so wide that there's a spot for everybody. And before someone says to me, that's not true, there's a reason why they have junior developers and mid-level developers. Because some of these senior developers that might hold those higher degrees in mathematics and engineering, they're working on higher level problems. And they will probably make a lot more money than you, and that's perfectly fine. But those same people are not gonna work on the simple tasks that are more in line with a junior developer or an intermediate developer. So the point I'm saying is that to get into the door, even though it's difficult, it's not impossible. And if it is something you considered and enjoy doing, and you're looking to switch careers, I would highly recommend not giving up. Because the truth is, some people who try to learn programming give up too early. For instance, to boil water, you have to bring the water up to a certain temperature. If the water never hits that temperature, it will never boil. Just like if you quit too early, you will never know if this was right for you. So if you put in the effort and put in the time, I know that you will be successful. When I was 32 years old, I asked the question on Stack Overflow, am I too old to learn to code? And I got some general answers like, no, you're not too old, you'll be fine. And then somebody just said to me, I've been coding in Java for 20 years. I started when I was 13 years old. And at this point, you are too old. You might as well just give up and jump off a bridge. And maybe they were trolling me. But the truth is, there's a lot of people that share that same mentality. And if you're coming from a computer science degree, maybe your whole perception of yourself is based on how your friends think of you because they see you as being the smartest person in the room. Maybe you have that arrogance that comes by being on the top and being smarter than everybody. And you might talk like that in a condescending way to somebody else who's just starting out. There's people like that everywhere. And I'm not saying that coding, anybody could do it, but I'm saying that there's a lot of opportunity for those who are just starting out and really willing to put in the work. You will be able to get a job. For the same reasons I mentioned before, is that it doesn't matter which tier you're in, if you're a junior, mid, or senior level developer, you're responsible for a certain task. And I guarantee you, a company that has a high senior level developer who's making $250,000 a year, he's not going to be expected to do the things that a junior or a mid-level developer would do. And when you get your foot in the door, that's all you have to do. You just have to get started. And once you're in the door, to be honest with you, you will still going to continue to study. You would still have to work hard. You may even consider taking university classes as you're already working, as most companies will reimburse you for your education. And there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, that's what's expected. And the whole culture of programming is the idea that the learning never stops. And so if you want to be successful in this field, you have to change your mindset to, I'm always going to be studying, I'm always going to be working hard. And whatever I have to learn, whatever my weakest link is, that's what I'm going to study. And that's why I recommend for people that are just starting out, and if they're just out of high school, I tell them to go to college. I tell them go get a computer science degree. Definitely not going to hurt you. And the experience of going to college is amazing. And it is going to help you get that first job much easier. But if you're older and you can't justify spending $30,000 a year for the next 4 years getting an education because you don't want to go into debt or whatever the reason may be, taking the self-taught route or even going to boot camps to be able to start a job on which you're able to make a decent income, where most people, like an average income I think in America is $45,000, and I think that's highly skewed. And so don't listen to people that try to discourage you. You don't even have to listen to me. But what I urge you guys all to do is to give it a try, like good effort. It took me 2.5 years to finally start making sense of programming. Like, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to become a web developer in 30 days. Like, I would say a year is pushing it. And that's only to do the bare minimum to be able to at least get your foot in the door to get a job. And once you get that job, to keep that job, you're going to have to study even more so. Like every day I go to work like Jesus Christ, like I got to learn so much. And you know what? I'm fine with that. And I'm going to continue to study. So if someone tells you you're not smart enough to learn something, or someone tells you that your brain is not made for it, it might be true, but you don't know that until you put some effort to trying to figure that out. Most people quit too early. You know, they start, I'm really gung-ho, I'm really ready to do this, and then 2 months into, they quit. A year into, they quit. Unfortunately, my mind doesn't work like that. When someone tells me I can't do something, I'm gonna prove them wrong, even if it kills me. It's just the way I am. And so, whatever your opinion is, whatever your thought of me is, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that how bad are you willing to make the change in your life and how bad do you want it. If you already have a great job and you're happy with your income, perfectly fine. If you hate your job and you think that coding is gonna bring more money, but you don't like it, that's a problem. But if you love technology, you love solving problems, you don't care if it's gonna take you a long time on the weekend to figure things out, you're willing to do the work, learning to program might be a good choice for you. So with that being said, all I want you guys to do is give it legitimate try to learn. Most people live in mediocrity. Because of social media, internet, it's very easy for people to talk a good talk, but in their personal lives, they're not happy, they're not fulfilled. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you look at most people that make over $150,000 in US, it's not a big number. And so if you learn to program and you get stuck at a job where you're only making $65,000, where before you were barely making 40, what's wrong with that? So you are a web developer. So you're not working on crazy algorithms and working on AI and programming the next Skynet. Who cares? But it's really up to you. So if you hated this video, please hate. If you like this video, like it. If you want to give me some feedback or suggestions, let me know. By the way, I'm doing this because, first of all, I want to share my story with you guys and show you that it's possible. Literally, if you knew where I came from, the fact and the opportunities that I didn't have, and the fact that I made it this far at the age 40 years old, that to me is not, like, that proved to myself. I didn't believe in myself until I succeeded, to be honest with you. And the fact that I did it, it's still like I'm not, like, if anything, I work harder now because I don't want to lose this opportunity that I got. And so I want to tell you that don't listen to anybody unless you give it a try yourself. And the first time you think about quitting, don't quit, work through it. So what if you have to work a part-time job? So what if you have kids and you have to study, you know, when they go to sleep? I did it, you know what I mean? It's no one special. It's like everybody has excuses and nobody wants to do anything about it. And the truth is, there's a lot of people in life that are successful. Go-getters, get stuff done. And that's kind of what we have to step up to if we want to reach our goal. The government's not gonna save you. Your best friend is not gonna take care of you. It's up to you. So whatever your reason is for learning to code, making this career switch, just go for it. And if in a year and a half, you're like, you know what, this is not up to me, I don't wanna do it, like, to be honest with you, that's not how I think. Once I make a decision to do something, I will fail and try again, fail and try again, and keep doing that process until I succeed. And luckily, in my life, that formula has been working out for me. And that's why I haven't quit learning to code, even though all the negativity from not only people on Stack Overflow, but in my family did not believe in me. My relatives did not believe in me. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. So if you're doing something to better your life, that's already amazing. Most people just watch Netflix. Most people just do the bare minimum. But if you're getting out there, you're putting yourself out there, of course people are gonna complain. Of course people are gonna say you're not gonna succeed. There's an interesting, this is what I'm gonna leave you with. Before I dropped out of college, I first pursued psychology, then I pursued engineering, and then I had a baby. Well, I didn't have a baby. My girlfriend at the time had a baby, so I dropped out to take care of my family. But I'm gonna tell you one of the studies they did in one of the experiments that I learned about in college. Basically, there was a bunch of monkeys, and there was a pole, and there were bananas on the pole. And every time a monkey would try to, climb up, the people would try to pull the monkey down. Every time a monkey would, and then other monkeys, every time a monkey would go up, a monkey would try to pull down. And every few days, they would rotate a new monkey. And eventually, there was no monkey that saw the humans come in and pull the other monkey down. But they learned from other monkeys to pull people down. And eventually, nobody wanted to climb and get those bananas. Now, that's what I remember from that experiment. Maybe that's not how it happened. But the whole point is, there's always people, they're going to bring you down, bring you down, bring you down until you just don't want to try anymore. It's learned helplessness. And I'm here to remind you that you don't have to put up with that nonsense. Do what you want to do. Life's too short. So if someone says something you can't do, maybe it's true, maybe they're right. But I believe that instead you should encourage people and help them to find the right path. And hopefully you are honest about it enough that if they're going in a path that's not right for them, you let them know and you tell them so they could not waste time pursuing something that they're not good for. But it still starts with trying. So enough of me babbling about, I know I already said, hey guys, thanks for watching the video, but I just wanted to add all this stuff because some people don't care, but I know a few of you really need this message. So I wanted to share it with you because I know I needed the same message when I first started out. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.